So stress, it's very subjective. Some people stress themselves about some things, while for some other people those things don't matter that much, and they're not going to stress about them at all, or they will stress at a different frequency. So for example, let's take worry here. There are people that are worrying all the time. They're worrying about the past, the present, and the future even, and they just worry, and of course they will be continuously stressed about that. Now there are some other people that don't care about the future that much, and they don't worry that much about it or how it's going to be. There's no point to worry about something that it didn't happen yet, so they don't worry about some things, and they will be smiley here because they don't have that kind of stress. Or they might worry, but at a different level. Maybe they would just worry just a little bit about something. So I believe that depends very much on every person's life's philosophy. What's your philosophy about life in general? If you follow a constant worry philosophy, then you're going to be stressed, of course. If your philosophy about life or about some things it's different, then you're not going to be worried about those things. What's even more sad, I would say, is that some people worry about very tiny things. It's like something very insignificant happen in their life, and they worry about those things. Well, the same things are not significant, at all for some other people. So yeah, there are differences, and we're unique, and different people worry about different things. Now here you can see different kinds of stressors. I'm talking about emotional stressors, physical stressors, biological stresses, chemical stresses, and of course there are some other kinds of stressors, but I'm going to focus on these ones. The emotional stress, it's one of the biggest type of stress that people can have. Now they will stress because of fear, change, major changes, especially loss, if they will lose somebody or something that was really significant for them, relationships, any kind of relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, family relationship with work. It's one of the biggest stressors, by the way. If you don't feel good with what you do, then that becomes a chronic stress, and you don't want that. Anger, people are getting angry all the time. Now stress can be also induced by desire. It's not only negative feelings, but also on positive feelings as well. You have a desire for something great, and that's happening to you actually, and then you become stressed. Even to move into a new house that you really like, that's even a stress. You're thinking that you're going to move in that house and it's going to be cool, and you're getting stressed because of that. So it's not only negative stress, but it can be also positive. Now there is physical stress as well, and that can be connected to surgery, physical trauma, lack of oxygen, for example, or bad body posture. Let's say that you're sitting on a chair for like 5 hours, your body starts to become stressed. So in that case, all of those things that I talked about are going to happen. Biological stress, we have molds, bacteria, viruses, parasites in our bodies, free radicals, we have nutrient deficiencies. So those become stress factors, and if you keep nutrient deficiencies on, that's a continuous stress factor, which is going to trigger different responses in the body, and especially by suppressing the immune system, you're going to become more vulnerable to different diseases, including these molds, bacteria, and viruses that are usually in our bloodstream, but on a weak immune system, they will start to develop and conquer new places in the body. So chemical stressors like toxins. Imagine that you're living in an environment which is packed with pollution, radioactive pollution, chemical pollution because of the industry, because of the cars that are running all the time. So pesticides that we're eating in our foods. If you're not going for organic food, then definitely pesticides. There are 40 pesticides in one tomato, for example. What's going to do that to your brain? Imagine that. So how is the body going to deal with all of those 40 chemicals inside that tomato? So heavy metals, dusts, fumes, and so on. So what happens when we're having these stressors? Now it depends how much you're able to reduce from these stressors. You can reduce 10%, you can reduce 20, 40, 50%. You're not going to be able to reduce them all, that's for sure. But the key lies in how much in percentage you're able to reduce. And the more you reduce, the more energy you'll have for different other processes in your body, because this is stealing your energy. And I would say that the life that you have and your philosophy and your lifestyle, it's very much connected to emotional stress, biological stress, and chemical stress. You're not going to live in a city that you know that it's polluted and noisy, and you're not going to eat pesticide packed tomatoes, but you're going to go for organic, non-GMO, and all of that. You're going to protect yourself against free radicals deficiencies by eating nutrient-rich food. You're going to check on your body posture. You can't just go like this all the time or sit on a chair without moving. So depends very much on your life's philosophy. You don't want to move in a bad city. You want to stay in nature more, closer to nature, for example. You don't want this junky feelings in your mind, so you're purifying your mind. Not only that, but imagine what we're usually doing when we're stressed. We're trying to balance somehow our lives by ingesting things that are known to release some hormones that would make us feel happy. For example, if you have a negative stressor in your life and you feel it all the time, and it's getting a chronic stress, then you're going to want to balance that. And this is a very natural process because we need to feel good as well, not only bad. So we're going to go for alcohol, drugs, sugar, food, and so on. So that's going to create a balance in our bodies because we need to feel good if we feel all the time bad. And that's not what you want. You actually need to be very selective in what you want to do. You want to decrease your stresses, or you want to try to go for some stimulants and solve the problem like that. Of course, the problem is not going to be solved like that because you're going to wake up the next day in the morning and there you go. You're pretty much in the same spot. So next I'm going to talk about some of the herbs that can help with reducing stress, but also increasing energy levels, not only by reducing stress, but by stimulating the energetic reserves in our body.